navigating confusion and finding clarity on your own terms. Ultimately, Love Struck and Confused isn't just a story about a crush, it's a reminder that sometimes the hardest person to understand is ourselves. It's a book that doesn't just leave you thinking about love, it's leave you thinking your own emotional journey and what it truly means to find clarity in the chaos. Ma'am, and I have one question to ask you. Ma'am, like you are a content management professional, and so is Priya. Ma'am, my first question is that, ma'am, did you base her on your own experiences?
Actually, no. Priya is not based on me. Priya is based on a very close friend of mine who I saw navigate certain challenges. But what I have based on myself is the company, and so the Kimtech. It's one of the organizations I worked more than 10-15 years ago. So the kind of structure in the company, the kind of people I met there, and that's what has come in the book. So that's closer to, that's autobiographical, but not Priya's emotional journey, which I have based on this particular friend of mine.
Ma'am, one more question. Ma'am, Priya tends to escape from her emotions by overworking herself. Ma'am, was this a conscious choice to reflect how young professionals today often avoid personal vulnerability to productivity?
Yes. So this something is based on this person who was a very good friend of mine, but much younger than me. And as a young professional, what I saw her doing was something. This is exactly what you said. She overworks and she tries to sink. She's like an ostrich. I mean, every time I've seen her and I've told her, you're like an ostrich, sinking. Just putting your head down and refusing to face things head on and just letting it pass. So that is very much this particular friend of mine.
Ma'am, one more question if you don't mind. Ma'am, Tanya's role as a chaotic influence is fascinating. She's funny, but her misinformation really messes with Priya. What inspired Tanya's character?
Not one particular person. When I started writing Love Struck and Confused, I just wanted it to be a book that I have fun writing with. I never expected this to be published, very honestly. I think as I was saying, Sonia I think asked me about historical research and how it's like a black hole. What I've learned over the last few years as a writer is that writing requires extreme consistency. I make it a point to write around 1,000 words daily, no matter what. Now, when you're researching, so Love Struck and Confused was actually being written when I was researching for Shadows and Secrets, which is my second historical fiction book. I was reading up a lot those days, so I had to write this story. Now, coming back to your question about Tanya, at that point in time, I just wanted a very funny character. And Tanya was, in a way, inspired by a lot of people I've seen, but not any single person. I wanted this to be a funny book because I wanted to have fun doing it. I didn't want it to be a soppy love story. And to avoid doing that, I needed these characters who would create a lot of confusion. And Tanya was just there created, it's an imagined character who means well but lands up messing up everything.
Thank you, ma'am.
I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
So, what is the best character you enjoyed in this? Like, what about Himesh? You did not even mention him once, where I felt that he was one of those main people who could create that chaos,
Ma'am, Sanjeev Mija, ma'am, to me, he was just like a side character. To me, ma'am, Tanya and Soumya were the real troublemakers.